little different style class today. This class is going to be all about ankle and knee stability. So we're going to move a lot slower. It's going to be much less about feeling the burn and a lot more about alignment exercises and how to be sure that your joints are moving the way that they're designed to move so that you can continue moving safely, comfortably, forever and ever. So this class will be focused a lot on building quadricep strength, calf strength, glute strength, a whole heap of lower body happening. You do not need any equipment. If you have a resistance loop, I would strongly encourage grabbing that. This is my medium loop. You could go heavy. The quad burn is going to be intense for sure. So if you have resistance loops, absolutely go grab one. If you don't, no worries at all. You're just going to have a bigger range of motion than me. You're going to take that resistance loop and you're going to slide it up so it's a few inches above your knee joints. Now from here, go ahead and lay back on your mat. Let me just get myself untwisted here. Keeping the knees bent and the feet flat into the mat here. So start by taking a moment to be sure that your heels line up with your sits bones. Sorry, my pony is in that like really uncomfortable spot on my head. Okay, there we go. So the heels line up with the sits bones. And oftentimes, if you feel pain in your knees in this position, it's because your heels are too close to you. So play with walking them just an inch or two farther out. I know that oftentimes people cue you should be able to touch your heels. That's always been a really uncomfortable position for me personally. It's always felt a bit of a stinging in my patellar tendons, the front of my knees. So I like to walk them a little farther out. So play with it. Walk your feet in, walk them out, and find the position that's right for you. Now the band is here as a reminder to press out. So even if you don't have the band, you want your thigh bones pressing out and your ankle bones, your shin bones squeezing in. That opposition is really going to stabilize the knee joint. Take an inhale here with your spine nice and long on the mat. And as you exhale, I want you to push through your heels. Feel your pubic bone tip and roll up towards your belly button. And then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, you're going to roll yourself up to a bridge position. Inhale at the top. And then exhale, I want you to reverse that. So you're continuing to press out on the band and you're just rolling back down to the mat one vertebrae at a time. Inhale. Exhale, heels press, pubic bone rolls up toward belly button and you roll yourself up. Inhale. Exhale, roll it down. So continue to do that at your pace. When you reach the top of your bridge, check in that your rib cage is not flaring open here. So it might be that you don't go as high with your hips as you're accustomed to. You want to keep the ribs wrapping in so that you're not arching into the low back. And that's going to really allow you to target more into glutes and hamstrings, which of course, glutes and hamstrings are going to really support the stability of your knees and your ankles. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more like that. Roll it up. Pressing out on the band. Hold at the top. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, roll it up. Now I want you to hold at the top. Now, from here, continue to press out on the bands. And this is a great opportunity to play with the distance from your hips that your feet are. So find that place where you feel like you're really stable, where you're not feeling a pinching in the hips, in the front of the knees, and you're feeling the shin bones squeeze in while the thigh bones press out. That's going to really stabilize your knee joints. Now keep that stability and float your left heel off of the mat. Hold it. Notice if your weight is going into the outer edge of that left foot. Are you rolling into the pinky side toe mound? Push weight into the big toe mound. Press out on the band in opposition. And then lower that left heel. Right heel lifts up. Again, pause. Notice if you're rolling to the outer edge of the right foot. You want equal weight between the pinky toe and the big toe mound. Pinky toe mound and the big toe mound, I should say. Now, as you push weight into the big toe mound, press out on the band. Lower that right heel. Left heel lift, left heel lower. Right heel lift, right heel lower. So little walks side to side here. Just lifting the heel and asking the ankle bone to maintain some stability. Lift it up, lower down. Right heel, lift it up, lower down. Now, as you take these lifts of the heel, Notice if you're starting to collapse the thigh bones in towards each other. Feel the thigh bones press out on the band. And then as you press out on the band, find more weight into the big toe mounts. So you have that counterbalance allowing you to maintain stability through both joints. Go 4. And lower. Go 3. And of course your glutes are working too here. You have 2. And lower. Last one, go right. And lower. Now I want you to take both heels and lift them up. Squeeze the ankle bones in towards each other and then press out on the band. If you don't have the band, imagine that you're pressing out on a band with your thighs. So you have that counterbalance. You're gonna feel work here into the front of the ankles. You're absolutely gonna feel work into the calves and into the glutes. Take a big breath. Exhale, lower the heels. And then roll yourself down one vertebrae at a time. Extend the legs out long. Take a minute and flex the feet. Really spread the toes wide and feel the stretch between each toe. And then point through the feet, so push through the big toe mount and lengthen the toes. Either position of the foot is totally fine with me as we move into this next exercise. You can also just come to a nice, gentle, relaxed foot. Draw the shoulder blades together and down. Inhale. Exhale, soften the ribs. You can stay right here. Your left leg is gonna lift up. Left leg is gonna lower down. Stay at the left. Left leg lift. Left leg lower. Now if laying flat on your back feels uncomfortable for you, you also could do this propped up on your forearms. That's absolutely an option. I'm gonna stay down low here. Lift it up, lower it down. So if you do not have the band, your range of motion is gonna be a lot more than mine is, and that's great. But don't really worry about where your range of motion is. The goal here should be keeping the left leg as long as possible. You're gonna start to feel a fatiguing through the left quadricep. Again, if you don't have the band, it might take a little longer to feel that fatiguing, that's okay. What I want you to do is really squeeze the quadricep. So squeeze the thigh, lower it down. Go, squeeze the thigh, lower it down. I want you to find as much length as you can through this left leg. Then you're really building the strength in the muscles that support that left knee joint. 4 more, lift it up, lower it down. 3 more, lift, and lower. 2 more, it's up, it's down. I want you to hold the lift of the left leg, squeeze that left quadricep, and really shoot energy, whether it's through the toes or through the heel, does not matter. Just find length through this left leg and lift it up. Go little up, little pulse, little pulse. Notice as you fatigue if you're arching in your back. Soften your ribs, soften your face, relax your shoulders, and just go little up, little up, little pulse, little pulse. You have 8, 7, 6. You're here for 4, 3, 2, hold it. Inhale, lengthen leg. Exhale, gently lower. Squeeze the right quadricep. Right leg lift. Right leg lower. Go right leg lift. And right leg lower. So one side may have a bigger range of motion than the other. That has a lot more to do with your hamstring flexibility than your strength of your quadriceps in this exercise. Again, the goal is not really range of motion. The goal is keeping the right leg really straight and really squeezing the right quadricep. So squeeze the thigh, then lift and lower it down. It's not super often I'm gonna tell you to get a crazy straight leg in my classes. This exercise is one of the times that I'm going to. Because really squeezing the right thigh here is gonna help strengthen all of those muscles that stabilize the knee joint. Knees are tricky little buggers, so we wanna do all that we can to really maintain as much stability as possible. Lift it up, lower it down, breathe. Inhale, exhale, 3 more. Go up and down. 2 more, it's lift and lower. Now I want you to hold that lift. Notice if your low back is arching, soften the ribs, soften the face, and again, you can come up on your forearms. Take it, little lift, little lift, little lift. Right quadricep is squeezing. You're shooting energy through your toes or through your heel, does not matter to me, whatever feels more comfortable, as long as you are really shooting that long line of energy out. Go 8, 7, 6. You're here for 4, 3, 2, inhale. Exhale, lower. Roll over your favorite shoulder to come onto your belly. Take the forearms underneath the armpits and take a moment just to lift the chest. Get a little sway side to side. Maybe wiggle your hips. Just give yourself a little release here. Inhale. Exhale, press yourself up, downward dog. You can pedal through the feet if that feels good. You want to be sure that while you are strengthening through the quadriceps, through the calves, through the hamstrings, the glutes, you also want to get that flexibility. A lot of times, joint instability has to do with an imbalance, whether that's an imbalance of strength or an imbalance of flexibility. Either one's an imbalance, right? Big breath in, big breath out. Walk your hands and your feet to meet each other. Take a moment in this forward fold. Soften your knees as much as you need to feel this in your hamstrings rather than your low back. If it feels good to kind of sway, you can do that. Gently tuck your chin to your chest just so you get a little more length and softness in the back of the neck. Take a big inhale. Take a big exhale. And then gently rolling up, one vertebrae at a time, stacking the spine, and spinning to face me. Coming into parallel. So the heels are near the sits bones and all 10 toes are pointing forward. Hinge your hips back. Bend the knees and come into a squat. So take a moment here in the squat position. Look down. You want to be able to see at least your toes. I can actually see my entire foot. So the goal in a squat is that the knees are not coming forward as much as the hips are going back. So a great way to set up a squat is not to bend first, but to actually hinge and then bend, because then you ensure that your weight is really back into your heels here. Hands can be on your hips, or they can be a prayer. It's whatever feels more comfortable for you. And one more time, I'm going to lift that left heel up. Hold it. Press out on the band. Push down into that big toe mound. Yes, so now you have a little bit more weight into your feet, right? All your weight into your feet, really. So this is going to be a little more challenging on the calf and on the ankle stability as well. This is a great opportunity to look at your feet as well and notice if you have a tendency to roll to the outer edge. Press down to that big toe mound. Lower that left heel. Right heel left. Again, press out on the band. Push down through your big toe mound. So shin in, thigh out. That opposition is going to help stabilize both knee and ankle joint. Again, look down. Be sure that you're not rolling out onto the knife edge of the foot. Inhale. Exhale, right heel down. Now it's left heel and lower. Take it right heel and lower. Pick up the pace if you want. Left, right, left, right. Staying really strong. Now traditionally, typically, I would not want you looking down in a squat, right? I want you to keep your chest up. But for the purpose of this exercise, by all means, watch your feet here. Watch your ankles, watch your knees. And really notice if you have a habit that you didn't know you had. We all do. We all have these movement habits that kind of creep up on us. And that's why, while I think it's great to work out without a mirror so that you feel things in your body, I do think it can be very beneficial to sometimes use the mirror to check out your alignment. 4 more. Go 4, 3, 2. Now I want you to lift that left heel and hold it. Press the thigh bones out. Push down through the big toe mounds. Hips are reaching back. Go a little down, little down, little down. So you have a weight in the right heel and weight in the left big toe mound and pinky toe mound. You're going to start to feel this in your right quadricep, in your right hamstring, and your right glute. Little down, little down, little down. Now you'll notice that I'm not at any point bringing us to full heel lifts in this class. The reason being, I think it's really important to get the stability before you layer the balance aspect on. If you feel really strong and stable in your heel lifts, then I would encourage you when this class is done to take some full standing heel lifts. And I'll show you what I'm talking about in a sec. You're here for 8, 7, 6. You're here for 4, 3, 2. Left heel lower, inhale. Exhale, right heel up. Thigh bones out. Big toe mound down. Weight is into the left heel and into the right big toe mound and pinky toe mound. Little drop of the hips, go, little drop, little drop, little drop. So what's nice about this position is that you're not asking yourself to really balance much, which means you can really focus on how your joints are stacking on top of each other. Little down, little down. Once you take your full body up to standing and start to lift up on your balls of your feet, you're incorporating a lot of balance, which is a great thing to practice, but it's a harder thing to focus on joint stability in. 8 more, go. 8, 7, 6. You're here for 4, 3, 2. Lower that heel, inhale, rise up. Exhale, squat down. Inhale up. Exhale, squat. It's just a little interlude. Last one. Hold your squat. Lateral step, go left and left. Take to the right, go right. Now, it does not matter to me how many steps you take, realistically. It has to do with how big your mat is. What I want you to find here is that you're pressing out with the thighs. Press out. Press out. So now you're working into the lateral sides of the joints. You're really strengthening the inner and outer thighs here, right? Which is gonna help stabilize the knee joints. Go out. Oftentimes, the reasons that we start to get injuries, well, there are many, many reasons we start to get injuries. One of them is that we're not working our body in all of the planes of movement, right? So you wanna not just work front and back. You wanna be sure to work side to side and really all 360 degrees. Press out. Again, normally I'd have you lift up through the chest and the eyes. Right now, I want you to watch. Press out to make sure that your knees are not collapsing in here. Yes, you're pressing out. We have one more to the left, and we'll even ourselves out. One more to the right. And then I want you to hold that squat for just a breath. Inhale, press it on the band. Exhale, hips reach back. Big toe mound presses down. 4, 3, 2, rise all the way up. Feel free to shake it out. While you're shaking it out, if you had no idea what I was talking about, if you start to feel comfortable with your stability in your ankles, you can come here to these heel lifts. At any point, probably at the end of class will be your best chance. Take your left hand to some kind of stable surface. I'm gonna take it to the wall. Take your right hand just to your hip. Soften your knees and shift your weight into that left foot. I want you to send that right leg back behind you. Let me just slide my band up because it started to come down on my knee joint, and you definitely don't want your band on your joints. Inhale, lift the heart. And as you exhale, I want you to hinge forward like a little seesaw. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, hinge it forward. Inhale, lift it up. Now, if you're feeling pretty stable here, the challenge is going to be taking your hands off of whatever surface you found and bringing them either to your hips, to your heart center, whatever feels better for you. Now, as you take this little single leg deadlift, the work is going to be in that bottom left leg. You're going to feel some little wiggles in your ankle, and that's okay. Pulling that left hip bone back, be sure to soften through the left knee here so you're not locking out that knee joint. If you start to feel your toes gripping the ground, really start to soften and lengthen them. Okay, you want a nice wide foot here. The back right pinky toe is going to continue to point down towards the mat as you hinge. So you're not letting your right hip flare open towards me. Again, that might make your range of motion smaller. That's totally fine. Give me 2 more here. Inhale, hinge. Exhale, you lift. Now I want you to hinge it forward. I want you to hold it. Right pinky toe turns down to the mat. Left hip draws back. Soften your left toes and just hold and breathe. You're gonna feel little adjustments to that left ankle, and that's okay. That's a good thing. That's building the muscles that support that joint, right? Inhale. Exhale, slowly drive that left heel. Bring yourself up to stand and switch sides. Right foot onto the mat. You can start with the right hand on a wall or a chair, whatever you prefer. Shift the weight into the right foot and gently slide that left leg back, hinging your torso forward and coming into that single leg deadlift on the other side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, you hinge. Inhale, you lift. Exhale, you hinge. Now, if you're feeling pretty stable, go ahead and take your hands off of your wall or your chair and bring them to your hips or to your heart center, asking your leg to do a lot more work and a lot more balancing. If that is not happening for you, that's totally fine. You can, see, apparently it's not gonna happen for me today either. You can absolutely get a lot out of this exercise with a hand helping you balance. Now you're gonna pull the right hip bone back here. And again, I want you to soften through that right knee so that you're not locking out the leg. It's not that stick straight leg that we did when we were taking the leg lifts, laying down. It's a little softness to the knee so that this exercise is really much more about your ankle stability. It's also gonna 100% be glutes and hamstrings on that right leg. Don't worry, I did sneak in a little bit of glute work, of course. It's me, I could never ignore the glutes for an entire class. Now as you hinge, be sure that that left pinky toe is not opening. You're keeping the hips square down to the mat. And again, that might mean that your range of motion isn't super big. Who cares? That's not the point of this exercise, right? You have 4 more. Inhale. Exhale. One long line hinges forward. One long line lifts up. It's 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Now here you go, hinge it forward, hold it. Soften that right knee. Extend energy back through that left heel and draw the left pinky toe down to the mat. Inhale. Exhale, drive through that right heel to stand up slowly. Last thing, find your back against a wall of some kind. I'm gonna come over here where I have a little bit more space. Lean your back against the wall. This is it, this is class. You got this. Walk your feet forward and come into a wall sit. So in this wall sit position, you want to bring your heels underneath your knees. You want to bring your hips down in line with your knees. And then you want to soften your head back towards the wall and open the chest. So this is quadricep work. This is intense, intense quadricep work. Building the muscles of the quadriceps to help build the stability of the knee joints. See if you can find as much softness as possible in your upper body. Now just holding this position might be more than enough for you. If you want a little more, do you like that big deep breath I took in preparation? Lift your left heel. Lower it down. Right heel, lift. Right heel, lower. Left heel, lift. Left heel, lower. Right heel, lift. Remember, thigh bones are pressing out. Big toe mounds are pressing down. So you're not rolling out to the outer edge, right? You have 4. And lower. You have 3. You have 2. Last one. We gotta do it. Both heels, lift and lift. Lower, lower, I know, breathe. I'm feeling my quads, they are starting to really shake here. You've got this. Inhale. Exhale. 4 more and a hold, go 4. And lower. Go 3. And lower. 2 more, go lift. Now I want you to lift the heels and I want you to hold it. Close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Press out on the band. Squeeze the ankle bones in. And breathe. You're here for 4. 3. 2. Heels down. Stand all the way up. And shimmy yourself out of that band if you have it around your thighs. Whew. Come to center with me. Take a big inhale. And on your exhale, just take a forward fold. Let your head hang. Rock your hips from side to side or sway your upper body. Whatever it is that you need to do here. Big breath in. Big breath out. Soften the knees. Gently roll yourself up. Take a hand back to that stabilizing surface and catch your right foot with your right hand. Squeeze the inner thighs in. Press the pubic bone forward. Now keep the pubic bone pressing forward and just slide that right thigh back a little more. So you're really opening up, not just to the right quadricep, but you should get a little opening too through the right hip as well. Really awesome work, you guys. Mobility work, joint stabilizing work, all of that, it's not as sexy as other workouts, that's for sure, but it is so crucial. And honestly, I got a little sweat on, I'm not gonna lie. I did that wall sit at the end there, huh? Big breath in, big breath out. Now gently release your foot, flex through the heel and drive it down into the mat. Soften through that left knee and then hinge yourself forward here, pulling your hips back and feeling a nice stretch all the way up the back of the right leg. So right calf gets a stretch, right hamstring gets a stretch. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Gently rise up and switch sides to the left foot in the left hand. Inner thighs squeeze in, pubic bone presses forward. Keep your pubic bone pressing forward so your low back is long, and then slide that left thigh bone back. So it's easy here to kind of cheat this stretch and let yourself arch or let yourself tuck here. But come back to that neutral alignment, drawing the pubic bone up towards the belly button, and then slide the thigh bone back. That's going to give you a lot deeper stretch to the quadricep and into the hips as well. Inhale. Exhale, gently release the foot. Heel down into the mat. Soften that right knee and then hinge yourself forward to feel the stretch all the way up the back of that left leg. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Gently rise up. One last thing to pull yourself down. Just give me some little ankle rolls here. Pick your favorite foot and circle the toes around. Reverse that circle. Little things like this. This is all stability work, this is mobility work, all of that. Carefully switch sides. Or not carefully, really, up to you. And then go ahead and switch the direction. And you're done. You made it. Questions, comments, I am here for you. I do have more advanced balancing exercises that would really help with knee and ankle stability, so don't hesitate to reach out to me to ask any questions about those. And I hope that you had a great class. I will be back again next week with an all-new Barre with Mary class. Have a great day.